can't speak to what the governor would do. I can tell you what I would do if I was the governor. I certainly wouldn't be on the beach at a park that was closed. As I've said before, it's beyond words. It's insensitive to the people who can't use the park.
Whenever I get done tonight, I'll go back to the beach. That's where my family is, and that's where I'll go back to. Now, you know, let's be really clear. That's our residence, and we have a right to be there whenever we want to be there. I don't count going out on the beach after I've been working all morning to sit and talk with my wife and our guests for 40 minutes before I had to leave to come back to work as getting sun. That wasn't what I was out there to get. The way I took Claude's question was, hey, were you like out laying out getting a tan today? That wasn't what I was doing, and that's not what those pictures show. Sitting there with a baseball hat and shorts and a t-shirt talking to my wife and talking to our guests. I don't apologize for it. I don't back away from it. And I think my poll numbers show that I don't care about political optics. What I care about is doing what's right and wrong. And what was right for my family was for my family to be together and for me to be with them and to do what we were doing.
No, that's a big no. Everything about that is no. Seriously, a lot of people worked all morning and wanted to go to the beach, and they couldn't go to the beach and spend time with their family and their friends from out of town because the beaches were closed.
Well,
you were on a closed beach, but it was open to you because you're the governor. But other houses along that beach, people were told to stay inside because the government shut down and the beaches were closed. That's just no, right?
It's a little more complicated.
Okay, please.
Most of the
explain.
beaches in New Jersey were open.
Yes.
This stretch of beach was closed because the lifeguards were on.
Except for the governor.
And other state
beaches, but.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, other beaches were open, but what's so damning about those pictures that came out?
Well, why doesn't he go to the public beach where it was open?
The whole exercise was totally a FU, right? To the people of New Jersey. Like, I'm the governor. Yeah. This is my beach. I get to go here. You don't like it, lump it.
He's got nothing left to lose at this point. Before he went out on that beach, his approval ratings were 15%. I think now we're going to find out if the public officials' approval ratings can go into negative.
But you know what else had a government shutdown and a really unpopular, brash governor? Maine. And we've seen no optics of Paul LePage sort of, you know, giving cold shoulder to his own public.
Yeah, but I mean, that beach was closed. Am I wrong? Someone explain.
No, of course you're right.
It was closed.
That's why the picture.
Except to him?
That's why the picture shows the Christies amid all this sand. I mean, they had a wonderful private beach for a day. No wonder they wanted to enjoy it. That beach is never that uncrowded because it was closed.
I'm sorry, that's all no, but I'll read from your piece. Here we go.
No.
You write in the New York Times about Chris Christie's tutorial in hubris. Quote, as Chris Christie took in the sun, he doled out a lesson, the same one that Donald Trump is delivering on a daily basis and in a grander fashion. Beware the politician who doesn't give a damn for decorum. Make no mistake, for all their flamboyant pugnaciousness, the Christies and the Trumps of the political world are chasing adulation every bit as much as their peers are, maybe more so. They're just taking a deliberately muddier route. And if they don't get there, they're more likely to wear their failure as a badge of honor and to dig in with a destructive arrogance. They show that if you embrace a politician who talks too frequently and proudly about not caring what anyone thinks, you'll wind up in the clutch of a politician whose last refuge is not caring what anyone thinks. And that is a dangerous place to be. I just think it's kind of rude. That beach was closed. Why do you think you're better than everybody else? Why do you think you work harder than everybody else? Why do you think your family gets more than the other families along that beach? I don't get it. What's that?
But there is a bigger thing here, which is that when we find so romantic these politicians who buck convention and who are irreverent, that's all good to a point, because you do want people who are willing to challenge the status quo. But some of these politicians, Christie being a great example, and I think Trump being a great example, go too far. You know, they take not caring what you think, or putatively not caring what you think, as a badge of honor, and they begin to behave in ways that I think undercut their leadership and really undercut people's faith
like when he went to Orlando during, I think it was a huge hurricane, and he was like, I need to be with my family. So did everybody in your state who was snowed in and, you know, getting into accidents on your highways. I don't get it. That's just someone who doesn't care about his job. Let's bring in political reporter for the Washington Post and MSNBC political analyst Robert Costa. Bob, what do you think?
Having covered the governor since 2009 when he was first running for governor, I've always noticed in my reporting this defiance is at the core of his political persona, and it really was at the heart of why he became a Republican star. Get the heck off the beach, tangling with protesters and representatives for the education union. He became this Republican brawler, and people loved it. But I think that same quality, you saw it in 2016 during his failed presidential bid, during his time with President Trump on the campaign trail. That same defiance has also hobbled him, and this is the latest example.
Well, you got to be defiant about the right things.
Right, exactly.
Being defiant about taking your family on an elite journey to the beach that nobody else can go to in your government mansion, that's not defiance. That's arrogance. Two different things.
Mika, he has this really particular deafness and blindness to the way things are going to play. I go back, and I'm still stunned by it to this day, to the 2012 Republican convention. When he went out to give the big keynote speech, he was there in support of the nominee Mitt Romney, and it became a joke how often he used the first person singular. It was such a diva turn that Romney was just a cameo. He does not seem able to understand the way people are going to perceive his actions, and that was true in 2012, and it was true when he went out on that beach.
But look, you know, there was no obstacle to him winning re-election in New Jersey in 2013 by such a substantial margin and across demographic groups. So when did it hit diminishing returns?
I think it changed his relationship
Bob,
with the Republican
Party. Bob, go ahead, then
greatly.
Steve Ratner. Bob?
Steve, to your point, I think that 2013 moment, I remember it so well. In the summer of 2013, Governor Christie was leading the polls in many places for the Republican nomination in 2016. Donors were gathering around him ahead of his reelection. He did win over 60% of the vote in New Jersey in 2013, but it all started to fall apart just weeks later with the bridge closing scandal. So he peaked in 2013 in many respects nationally. He was this figure who was on the rise, but it's been hard for him talking to his associates and friends in New Jersey over the last few days for him to never come back to that place on the national stage.
Yeah, I think putting it another way, when you're riding high, you can do some stuff and people think, oh, that's kind of cute or that's kind of different or whatever. When you've had a problem like Bridgegate, you've got to rebuild your credibility bit by bit. And some of the stuff that we've talked about that he's done since then, most recently the Beachgate, if you want to call it that, that's taken him in the wrong direction. I
just think there was a different way to handle it if he had to go to the beach for some reason. But for these guys who love to buck the norm,
do you ever
be
have
defiant,
to go to the beach?
Yeah, I don't know, middle finger to the establishment. You can't actually then be the establishment going to the beach in your huge mansion.
He and Donald Trump
when no one else can.
He and Donald Trump
and then defend it
finger.
and say you didn't get any sun. That's called lying and arrogance. It's not defiance. It's not attractive defiance. Nope. It's not the kind that you're drawn to. I don't think Americans who can't go to the beach or can't afford to go to a beach like that think that's cool.
No.
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 Sorry. This would be awkward silence. All right, Robert Costa, stay with us. Coming up, lawmakers may be on recess, but health care is the big issue that followed them home. We'll talk about that. Plus, Steve Ratner has some charts for us. Morning Show will be right back.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.